Hey party people, this is Zach from visionswell.com, products and principles for a simple, serene life. And today I'm going to do a pack with me video where I do a minimalist packing setup for a 7-day trip that I'm going on. I wanted to go and take a look at some of these tomtoc products that I picked up recently. Tomtoc is a really great brand and they provide great value for the cost at which they provide their products. So a lot of times at this budget point that you'll see for all these bags, you'll get companies that skimp on things like zippers and materials. These all have YKK zippers. These all have great, durable, water-resistant recycled materials, and they all come in at a pretty low price point. So let's check out the bags that I have in front of me, and then we can go ahead and load them out individually, and then I'll show you what it looks like while I'm wearing it. Let's take a look. First up, you have these tomtoc electronics organizers. They retail for $19.99, and they measure in at 9.25 by 7.56 by 4.72 inches. They have a 1 liter capacity, and they weigh just over half a pound, 0.66 pounds, when they're fully empty. They're made from a sustainable 600D polyester, and you can see there's a nice little grab handle on the back here. There's also a lanyard at the end of the zipper track so that this is easy to pull in and out of bags, put around your wrist, whatever you may want to do with the little lanyard here. It has a nice YKK zipper at the top. It has some little attachment points or grabs at the end of the zipper track to help you pull it open and closed. And the outside is pretty simple. You just have this little tomtoc logo. If you unzip it, it has a nice little nylon zipper pull. You open it up. And then on the inside of the bag, you've got a large dump pocket on the side here that you could put notebooks or battery chargers or things like that. It has a little zipper pouch in front of it that's mesh, and this zipper pouch will be great for dongles or other small items. Then the other side, you have a pen loop, so you could put a pen up here. And then there's 3 other little smaller dump pockets that you could use for earbuds, memory cards, any kind of small tech gear. And then there's a big inner compartment here where you could just put larger items, like your power adapters or things that are larger and take up bulkier space. You can put it right down the middle here. So I think these are great little tech pouches. And I actually have 2 of them. So I'm actually gonna use one of these for my toiletry bag. And I know that seems weird using a tech pouch for a toiletry bag, but sometimes I use any kind of pouch for anything I want. These could be EDC pouches. You could use a pencil case to hold your tech. You could use a plastic bag. I mean, they're really just useful pouches, so you can use them for anything you want. I'm gonna use one for a toiletry kit, one for my tech kit, and they're very minimal, and they have kind of a tapered top. They also stand on their own, and they don't take up a whole lot of space, so I think they're great for any kind of minimalist packing setup. Next up, I also like to bring a sling, as you guys know. I'm obsessed with slings, and I'm always looking for new ones to try. I think they're a really useful way to dump out your pocket contents or carry extra stuff without having a huge backpack on your back. You could just have a little sling, get stuff out of your pockets, have easy access to it right across your chest. I use slings constantly. This is the tomtoc 1.5 liter sling bag. It retails for $37.99 US. It has a 55.12 inch strap length at maximum in case you need to size it for yourself. It has, as I mentioned, a 1.5 liter capacity. It measures in at 8.27 by 2.56 by 4.53 inches. It weighs just under half a pound at 0.48 pounds. The entire bag is RFID blocking, so if you want to put a passport, credit cards, things like that that you don't want being remotely stolen with RFID devices, you can feel secure in this. It's made from a water-resistant recycled nylon, and it has YKK zippers with these nice little skinny paracord zipper pulls. They're really nice. They have a little bit of a dangle to them. I also really appreciate that on the front of this bag, you have the tomtoc logo, and it's just this little tomtoc T. But this little leather piece here is actually detachable. So I wish more companies would do that with their logo so that if you didn't want to have this branding, I mean, you have this little tag on the back here, but that's very subtle. So I usually remove this, and I think it's a very minimalist friendly bag. It has a very nice profile. It looks kind of techy, but also kind of stylish. You have these 2 attachment points on the front of the bag here. You also have a front pocket if you open that. This front pocket has a nice bright orange interior so that you can see the gear inside. You also have a rather long key leash with a metal clasp at the end to put your keys on, a flashlight, a multi-tool, anything like that. I think that's really useful. I like these little quick access pockets. Close that up. You also have a nice little zipper garage at the end of the zipper here that gives a little bit of extra weatherproofing. Then if we move to the back of the bag, you can see it has one of these hidden pockets that I'm always raving about. I love these for passports and things you want up against your body. It has another YKK zipper. It has the bright orange interior, but it's just a pocket with no organization. This will be perfect for a passport, phone, wallet, things you want up against your body. Really love having these pockets in bags. Talking about the strap itself, it has nice stitching with these little wings at the end, so it feels very secure. It has nice, beefy plastic clips so that you can take this on and put it back off really easily. It feels like a very nice durable clip. I'm not sure if it's Duraflex, but it seems like it's of the same level of quality. You have these nice adjustment layers here that are plastic, so you can adjust this to any length you may like. And it's also made from this kind of seatbelt-like material nylon that a lot of these straps are made from. It's wide enough, but not too wide. It feels very comfortable when I'm wearing it. And I think it's a very durable, nice strap. And then lastly, you just have the inside of the bag with another YKK zipper. If you open that up nice and wide, you can see that bright orange interior so that you can see the contrast with the gear inside. You have a large dump pocket that has some elastic on this side that you could put your notebook, you could put battery backups for your phone, you put anything you want in this larger pocket. And then you have the middle section where you could put bulkier gear, you could put your phone, wallet, whatever you need quick access to in the main compartment. And then on the other side, you have a large zipper mesh pocket with a YKK zipper. So if you have small items, earbuds, things like that that you don't want to fall out of your bag or that are small and can't be secured easily, you can put them in this little zipper pocket. So I think overall, this isn't like a showstopper sling bag, but it's one that's extremely functional. And for its price point of $37.99, you can't really do better to have RFID blocking materials, sustainably sourced, recycled, weather-resistant exterior. It's super comfortable. It's got a nice strap. It's got YKK zippers. I think it's an amazing little sling bag. So I'm definitely going to pack this as my 1.5 bag. When I'm doing one bag travel, I usually just bring a sling bag. Technically, it's another half bag, but here you go. You have a nice little sling bag here. For the price point, you get a lot of value, so would highly suggest this one. And then last up is this big beefy guy. This is the tomtoc travel backpack in the 40-liter size. It retails for $86.99 US. It's made from recycled nylon. It has YKK zippers. It's got a 40-liter capacity. It measures in at 20.47 by 13.39 by 9.06 inches, and it weighs 2.65 pounds empty. So it's a little bit heavier and bigger of a bag than what I'm used to. And because of its measurements, it being 20 inches in length, it wouldn't necessarily work if you're doing personal item only travel. It would stick out from under the seat a bit. It would be above some airline regulation. Typically, I like to do personal item only travel, I've mentioned before, but once in a while, if I need to bring a little bit of extra stuff or have more room for souvenirs, or if I need to carry some stuff for anyone I'm traveling with, I like to have a little bit bigger of a bag. You would just have to stow this in the overhead compartment, and then I would usually use the sling on the plane so that I could have my phone, a battery backup, headphones and stuff right on my chest on the flight, use that as the personal item. So it would still work for minimalist travel, but I just wanted to note its size is a little bit too big for personal item travel. It's a really nice looking bag. It's pretty minimal in appearance, but you do have some straps and dangles here. It's a nice large bag. I feel like it has a great capacity for anything you could use it for. For under $100, under $90, this is a really insane value for a travel bag of this caliber of materials with the YKK zippers, the nice nylon. It has plenty of room to fit all your stuff. So let's go over some of the features of the bag. First up, if you look at the front of the bag, you have these 4 points of compression on the front of the bag, and you can adjust them and open them. They actually cover up or go around the water bottle pockets on either side of the bag. So just be aware of that the side that doesn't unclip here, it may be a little awkward to get bigger water bottles in here unless you like fully loosen this part that you can't unattach. But it's still a useful pocket and you should be able to use it still. And actually having these straps may allow you to secure the water bottle down a little bit more so that it's not going to fall out. But yeah, these compression straps are nice for maintaining a profile. If you have this bag fully loaded out and you want to kind of conform its shape, you can use these straps on the side or these buckles on the other side. But then if you look at the front of the bag, you have a nice little stash pocket that's quick access right on the front. It has no internal organization, but it's very large. You could put things like your wallet, your cell phone, your keys when you're going through TSA. You could put your tech pouch in here. You could put your emergency medical pouch in here. You could put a spare sweatshirt, a hat, a rain jacket, or an umbrella. Anything you want quick access to, this is a great pocket to use for that. Then if you unclip these compression straps on the front, you can see these water bottle pockets I mentioned. They can fit really big water bottles. I have a 36-ounce water bottle that I'm gonna put in here. I'll show later in the video, and it fits in here perfectly. And I think they're really nice pockets, and these compression straps actually allow you to keep them a little bit more secure. You also have a water bottle pocket on the other side as well, and it's exactly the same size, so you could fit 2 of these water bottles, or one of them for a water bottle, one of them for an umbrella, one of them for a tripod. Whatever you want to use these for, I always like to have external water bottle pockets. You have this nice little tomtoc logo. It's very subtle. It's not super loud. I like how small it is. It's not a bad logo. The bottom of the bag and the internal has this little flap that's hard plastic that's inside the bag. You can tuck it away if you want it to be a little bit looser of a setup, but I like the structure it gives and allows it to stand up on its own. So I always flip down this little plastic piece. Then you have a nice flat base to work with. If you go to the top of the bag, you see there's a nice padded grab handle. It's got some mesh with padding and a nylon strap. Super, super comfortable in the hand, very squishy. This will hold up extremely well, and it feels really good in the hand for pulling in and out of things or to hang it off a hook. You have a little option here. Then right behind it, you have another little stash pocket right behind the handle. If you open that up, it's kind of like one of those sunglasses pockets, even though it's really big for just one pair of sunglasses. This will be a great place for your wallet, cell phone, keys as well when you're going through TSA. You could use anything that you want quick access to if you have small items that you need to grab real quick or put something in here going through security. Or, you know, if you're sitting in the airport and you need to grab something real quick from the top of the bag, you have this nice little grab pocket here. I love having extra quick grab pockets. They're always super useful. The carry system itself is super beefy. You have these S-shaped carry straps. They're really nice. They have a lot of padding and aeration with the mesh here, and they feel very beefy and padded. They're nicely wide, so they'll fit against you nicely. You have these seatbelt material tracks here that you can use the sternum strap on. I like that it's a rail system, so it gives you a lot of flexibility in how you want to adjust it to your carry style. You have a nice little clip here that's plastic for the sternum strap. It feels very high quality. It has a loud, nice click. It operates beautifully. You have a strap keeper to keep the dangle in check on this sternum strap, so that's always nice to see. You have good adjustability here and strap keepers for the carry straps themselves, along with these little thumb loops here that you can pull down when you're wearing it if you want to tighten up the bag. Always like to see that. And then the back panel itself. You have 4 padded mesh panels that are super comfortable. You have these nice air channels here, and you also have a luggage pass-through. I don't love the orientation of this luggage pass-through because you'd have to put your bag on its side, and it makes it difficult to get to your laptop. I prefer it being oriented the other way, but to each their own. Some people actually prefer it this way, so that's really up to you, but I just wanted to mention it. You also have a grab handle on the side of the bag if you wanted to carry the suitcase style or just move it to and fro really easily. You have that option. Always like to see that on a bag. If you open up the main compartment here, it kind of opens similar to a duffel bag. I mean, it's kind of a clamshell opening, but it's also like smaller than the overall size of the bag, so it almost looks like the top of a duffel bag. So if you open that up, you have a large internal pocket here. And like I said, this bag has 40 liters of capacity, so there's a ton of room to fit a ton of gear in here. You have that plastic piece at the bottom that gives it structure. And there's not really any other internal organization in this pocket that I can see. So it's really just where you put your clothes and bigger items. So it's a really nice internal pocket. It allows you a lot of flexibility with packing cubes or not using packing cubes, or if you want to just stuff all your stuff in here, you have a ton of room to fit a ton of gear. So it's a really nice main compartment. Then the only other pocket to mention is this back laptop pocket. You have these nice zipper pulls that are YKK. They have these chunky plastic pieces that are easy to grab. So it's nice to be able to open this. They're actually also locking. So there's a little loop in here that you can put a luggage lock through that's TSA approved. And I'm not sure if all the zippers have this. No, it looks like it's just the laptop compartment from what I can see, but it's still nice to have that option if you want to lock these. So if you open up the laptop compartment, I love that it opens fully, although it can be a little bit dangerous if this flops out and your laptop is expensive and in there and hits the ground. So just be careful about that. But you have a Velcro strap here that keeps everything in check. You have a smaller tablet pocket or for other flat documentation. You have a super large pocket here. It seems like it would support like a really big laptop. I think they said 17 inches. I don't even have a laptop that big, but I just know that any laptop I have would fit in this pocket. It has a ton of padding because of that back panel. It's recessed a little more than an inch off the ground so that if you dropped it, you don't have to worry about the corner of your laptop getting damaged. So I overall really like the laptop storage over here on this side. Then if you go to the other side, you have a nice little mesh zipper pocket at the bottom here. This will be great for chargers or other kind of tech gear like your mouse or a travel keyboard or things like that. Anything to go with the laptop accessories, you have a little pocket here to put that in. And then you also have an interesting system here where there is two YKK zippers with red zipper pulls and they have heat shrink at the end, so they're really nice. But you also have a little pull tab here so that if you wanted to access the main compartment, you don't even have to unzip it. You can just pull that apart, get to your clothes, get to your tech pouch, your toiletry bag, anything that's in this main compartment, and it has easy access. So it's nice that you have a laptop compartment that's separate because it makes it easier going through TSA, but then you also have access to the main compartment so that if you're not using the laptop pocket, you could technically just like unzip this and use the full capacity of this bag. You could use it for whatever you want. Or also when you're in the airport or somewhere where you want to get access to the bag and you already have your laptop out, you have an easy way to just pull this open and get to the gear that's inside. So I think that's a really awesome design for this laptop pocket. And you know, I don't have any complaints about it other than it opening fully and it being a little bit dangerous. You could always just like not open the zippers all the way and then you wouldn't have to worry about that. But I just like to note that because I get scared because the laptop is the most expensive thing in the bag. So you just want to make sure that it's protected. And that's my overview of the tomtoc products I'm going to be going over today. Let's start loading this out and then you can pack with me and I'll show you everything that I load these bags out with and how they're arranged in the bag. And then I'll show how it looks on my body. So let's take a look. First up, I'm going to load out the tomtoc electronics organizer. This will be the one I use for my electronics. The other one will be for toiletries. So let's see how I'm going to load this out. Over here, I've got some gear. I have my Anker backup battery charger for my phone. I like that it has this attached USB-C cable that just clips in here, so you always have one on hand. It's got a nice little LED display for its power level. So I'll put this in the large dump pocket. And then also in that large dump pocket, I'm going to just put a cheap field notebook. I always like to have something to write on. Put that back there. Then I have my Ultem pen that I mentioned from CountyCom. I really love this pen. It's a little bit of overkill for people who aren't pen enthusiasts, but it's really great, really durable. It could go through a war zone basically and has a nice titanium clip. So I'm gonna use that in the little pen sleeve here. Then I have this magnetic USB-C cable from Cable Time. I like that it allows you to cinch it up really small. It stays together with magnets. I've mentioned it in other videos. It's just nice to have a USB-C cable because I have so many USB-C devices. So I'll slide that into one of the little pockets. Then my big cable that I use is that multi-ended USB-A to USB-C cable that has the orange tipped one for fast charging. This is great for charging all my devices at the same time. I have 4 different USB-C cables that I can use to charge all my devices simultaneously. I'll put that down the middle of the bag because it's a larger cable. Then I have my Anker GAN charger that I've mentioned in other videos. Has 2 USB-C, 1 USB-A, a fold-away adapter. It's heavy, but it's small and compact for the most part. This charges all my devices simultaneously. The GAN charging is super fast. Put this down the middle of the bag too because it's pretty chunky. Then I have this little puck that charges my Apple Watch. It has lightning on one side and USB-C on the other. and allows you to attach it to either of those types of cables. You just magnetically stick your Apple Watch to this and it charges it. It's very compact. I'll put this in the other dump pocket. And then the last thing I have are these Sony noise canceling earbuds. I've mentioned them before. They're really great earbuds. They've replaced my over-the-ear headphones. Even though the over-the-ear headphones have a little bit better noise cancellation and maybe a slightly better sound quality, these are just so compact that when I'm traveling, they do 80 to 90% of the job of the over-the-ear. So the space saving is totally worth it. It's got USB port for charging. Unfortunately, it doesn't have wireless charging, but that's okay. They're super small. I'll put that in the last little dump pocket. And there we go. I have my little Minimalist tech pouch here, and that's all loaded up. Next up, for the other tomtoc tech pouch, I'm going to use this as a toiletry bag, as I mentioned. If I open that up, I'm gonna take this little mini bamboo travel toothbrush. I really love this thing. It works extremely well. It's reusable, it's super small. It's not that bad to use a tiny toothbrush, and I always have one on hand. I'll put that in this little pen sleeve. It actually fits in there beautifully. Then I have my Arm & Hammer charcoal deodorant. I like Arm & Hammer, it's aluminum free. It smells good. I'll put that down the middle here. Then I have my sink laundry kit. So I've got a carabiner with some paracord tied with a Velcro gear tie, as well as these Sea to Summit laundry leaves. These together give me a way to wash my clothes in the sink, as well as hang them to dry on a little makeshift laundry line. So these always go in my bag as well. I'll put the paracord down the middle, and I'll put the Sea to Summit in one of these little dump pockets. Then I have Touchland hand sanitizer. These smell amazing. I love the form factor. They fit great in your pocket. They're spray hand sanitizer. I think it's one of my favorite hand sanitizer brands, so I'll throw that in my toiletry bag as well in case I need it. Then I just have this little individual packet of Oral-B Scope floss picks. These are great. My teeth are kind of tight, so it's hard for me to use like the regular floss. I usually just use these floss picks, so I like to have them just in case I need to clean something from my teeth or keep up on my flossing. Then I also have this Matador flat pack soap holder. It has a Dove soap bar inside. Dove is great for both body and face wash, so I use it for both. And it has this dry through technology so that if the soap bar is wet, it can dry through the bag without leaching water into the bag, and it won't stay all slimy. It's kind of like a mini dry bag. You roll the top down and clip it. I love these things. Then I just have a little travel thing of Colgate Total toothpaste. Need that to go with the toothbrush. And then the last thing I have is just some Vaseline lip therapy. I'm always worried about having dry lips or having a way to soothe them, so I usually keep a tiny thing of chapstick or Vaseline on me just to use on my lips. That fits in there extremely well. Close that up. And there you go. You have a little tiny toiletry bag. For my clothing, first up, I have this smaller Course Surf compressible packing cube. This is great for like your underwear and socks, so that's exactly what I'm using it for. I've got 7 pairs of underwear. I always like to bring 1 per day on average. Then I just have 3 pairs of socks. The reason for 3 pairs of socks is I usually am wearing flip-flops when I'm in a warm destination or sandals of some sort, so I don't always need socks. Also, you can always wash socks in sink laundry super easily if they get stinky. And honestly, if they're not super smelly, you can also rewear socks. I know some people think that's gross, but it's not that bad and it doesn't take up as much room. So I'll put these socks in the bottom here, these 3 pairs. I'll also undo the compression so that I have more room. Then I just have 7 pairs of underwear, so I'll roll those up. They're just boxer briefs. Okay, and then I'll zip up this packing cube, and then I'll do the compression zipper. There we go, it's all loaded out. Then for the bulk of my clothes, I have this larger Course Surf compressible packing cube. It's the same design as the smaller one, it's just in a larger size. And I have 5 t-shirts, 1 pair of sleep shorts, 1 pair of hybrid shorts that can be worn both as regular shorts or as a bathing suit, as well as these Western Rise travel pants. The reason I'm only bringing 5 t-shirts is I usually buy a t-shirt whenever I'm traveling. I like to have a memento, not necessarily some touristy one, but sometimes I'll find a cool local t-shirt shop or something like that and pick one up, so I like to have room for it. Also, I'll be wearing clothes when I'm on the plane, so that takes care of one day right there. And then I only really need 6 other days worth of clothes, so 5 t-shirts is good as long as I'm not super sweaty, or I could always buy a shirt. So I'll load up these 5 t-shirts first. The sleep shorts, the hybrid shorts, and finally, these travel pants from Western Rise. Then I can zip that up and zip up the compression. And there you go. All of my clothes are all in compression packing cubes, and we'll see how they load up in the bag after we finish with everything else. And the last individual pouch I'm gonna load out for this trip is just this Tom Bin mystery pouch. It's got a nice little clip on the side if you wanna clip it internally to a bag. It's got a nice YKK zipper. It's a nice durable nylon material. It's super bright, so it's easy to see in the bag. And this is what I use for my first aid kit when I'm on the road. So let's see what's inside. I have these nice little human gear go tubs, and they're really small. You can operate them with one hand. If you just push it together, it opens up. And I just have some NSAIDs in here. So I have Tylenol and ibuprofen. So that'll go in. This other one that's orange just has some allergy medication. So it's got some Benadryl as well as some cold medicine. Then this last one just has stomach medication. That's in the red one. It has Pepto-Bismol as well as Imodium in case you have stomach issues when you're on the road. I have 2 little Ricola cough drops in case I get a sore throat. I have a variety of different Band-Aid sizes just for little boo-boos. I mean, it's not gonna save your life, but if you cut your hand in a small way, a paper cut, or you have any like kind of small injury, you could use these, and I have them rolled up with a rubber band. Then I just have this little plastic case to protect them with nail clippers and a small pair of tweezers. They're very useful to have. I mean, the nail clippers have a lot of different uses, even if you just wanna like cut off a string or something, but always like to have nail clippers and tweezers if I have a splinter or something. Then I just have this little reusable zipper pill pouch, and this has some nitrile gloves as well as antibacterial wipes in case you had like a really gross wound or you were dealing with someone that threw up or something. You have gloves to deal with things where you don't want to touch with your hands. Then I just have a backup chapstick in here just in case I lose or run out of the other one. I have a medical kit where I have a way to get some lip relief. And then the last thing in here is this little Matador keychain earplugs. So they're just earplugs that fit into this little rubber container. It's super easy to carry around with you. It's super small. If you're staying at a hotel and it's super loud and you want to get some sleep, you have some decent earplugs with you. They're not the greatest in the world, but they're okay, and they'll definitely reduce noise enough to sleep. Zip that up. And that's my little individual first aid kit. So let's get to loading up this bag with all the items as well as stuff that I didn't put into its own pouch that's just assorted materials. So let's start with this exterior dump pocket here. There, I'm going to put my Matador packable beach towel. This is a great little beach towel with a stash pocket. It folds up really small. It's nice. You could use it as a blanket on the plane. You could use it as a towel, a sitting blanket, a picnic blanket, whatever you need. It's made of microfiber, super nice to have on you. Then I have my little human gear utensil pouch in case I need utensils when I'm out on the road. I have chopsticks, spoon, fork, and a toothpick. Fits in this nice little package. Then I have my human gear go cup. This could be used as a small bowl or just a reusable cup when you're on the road and you need one, or even a dog bowl if you have a pet with you. And then it has a little spot in the top where you can put smaller things in these little containers and keep them separated. So it's a really nice little thing. It fits into a small package. Then I just have an extra belt, as I mentioned before. This is the County Com titanium belt. It's a tactical belt that has a titanium buckle, and it's very easily adjustable. It's made of nylon. It fits really well in this pocket. It's very minimal. Then I have my nano bag. This is a 19-liter reusable tote bag. It fits into a super small package that fits in your hand. I love nano bags. I have a bunch of them. They're super durable and lightweight and small. It always is useful if you need to go shopping when you're on vacation. So then I can close this front dump pocket up. Then if I go behind the handle here, as I mentioned, that little hidden yoke pocket, I'll open that up. And I'm going to put my Warby Parker sunglasses that I've mentioned before. Always need sunglasses when I'm on the road, and they fit well in this pocket. And I also have this Trustfire EDC flashlight. It's a very flat profile. It can be clipped to your hat if you need a headlamp. It's got different lumen levels. It has a UV light. It's got a laser pointer, so it has different modes. It's USB-C rechargeable. It's a great little EDC flashlight. Put that in there with the sunglasses, close up that. Then we can start with the laptop pocket. I'm not going to be bringing a laptop on this trip, so I'm going to use this pocket for other things that are flat. So if I go ahead and open that up all the way, I can put flatter items in here. So I have my Tilly Airflow sun hat. This is a great little sun hat. It's very packable, compressible. It goes back to the way it came. Has a nice little chin strap. It's got a hang loop. It has some nice airflow at the top. It's a really kind of stylish for this type of hat. Sun hat, it gives a lot of sun protection. I love this thing. I can just compress that down flatly. Then I have my barefoot sandals from Zero Shoes. These are the Z Trails. They fit really nicely in this little Bag-Ale shoe bag. And if I spread them out so that it's super flat and zip it back up, I can fit this here, compress some of the air out of it. And then all my flat materials are taken care of here, and they have a place for themselves. So I'll close up that. And then we can get to the main compartment here. So I'll open it up with these YKK zippers. Like I said, that little plastic piece is keeping it pretty open. I'll take the large packing cube that has the bulk of my clothes. I'll stick that in the bottom here. Then my packing cube that has my socks and underwear, I'll put right alongside it here. Fits pretty well. Then at the top of the bag, I like to have quick access to my sling bag. So I'll put the sling bag up here at the very top so that it's easy to get to. Then also, I like my tomtoc tech pouch, so I'll put that at the top of the bag as well. And then my toiletry kit can fit right down here. And then the last thing I want quick access to is my first aid kit. So I'll take that little pouch and put it right down in there. Then I'll take this flap and I'll close it. Zippers close nicely. Then the last thing I have is a 36-ounce water bottle from Igloo. So I'm going to loosen these compression straps on this side, because this is the water bottle holder that seems like it has the most slack. The other one's a little bit more loaded out. So I'll just clip up this side to take care of that. And I'll cinch them down as much as I can. And then if I move to this side, I can try to put this large water bottle in here. And it's a pretty tight fit when the bag is fully loaded out, but I was able to get it in here and it's not really going anywhere. You could also always attach a carabiner or some kind of attachment point to keep it in place with these cinch straps. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that even when it's fully loaded out, you could still fit a larger water bottle in here. I don't typically bring huge water bottles, so I'd probably bring either a small one or no water bottle at all, but I just wanted to show you what's possible here. So that's the bag fully loaded out. As you can see, it's pretty beefy, bulky, bunchy, a lot of bees in every way. So, you know, it doesn't look the best when it's fully loaded out, but it's at least very functional. And for the price, you're able to get a really great travel bag where you can fit all of your gear. And then this is how the bag looks on my back when it's fully loaded out. Here's me putting it on, securing this little sternum strap here. And then as I mentioned, it has nice adjustability. So I need to move it down a little so it's more on my chest here. And it's easy to do so. And I can tighten this to my desired tightness. The straps feel really nice. They're nice and wide. They fit well and conform to my body. They're not uncomfortable. Even though this has a super heavy load, they feel pretty good. The bag has an okay profile for how much gear is in here. It doesn't feel like there's any pressure points or anywhere on me that feel uncomfortable. It just feels like a moderately heavy bag, but it's comfortable enough to wear. I don't think it looks terrible. It looks a little bit bulkier because it's so fully loaded out, but I'm just glad that I could bring all my gear with me. And I think this would fit in well if you're just bringing a carry-on and you want to stash in the overhead compartment, and then use the sling when you're on the flight to carry your gear close to your body. You have that option. So I would highly suggest all three of these bags. The tomtoc electronics organizer is a great little minimal, takes up no space tech pouch, and you could also use it for other use cases. If you needed a pencil case, if you needed a toiletry kit, as I demonstrated, you have that option. It's just a great little pouch. You have the tomtoc 1.5 liter sling bag. That's very minimal but functional and also super affordable. And then you have this tomtoc travel backpack in the 40 liter size. That gives you a ton of options, a ton of features, great materials, a lot of room to put a ton of extra gear, and it looks pretty nice too. So I highly suggest you check out tomtoc as a brand because the value really can't be beaten. It's in that same category as something like Cabin Zero or one of the other brands that at their price point have incredible materials and durability and have nice looking bags, even though they're way less than the $200, $300, $400, $500 bags that you sometimes see out there from the name brands. So highly suggest tomtoc if you're a budget conscious traveler, and I'm definitely gonna be using this bag on my upcoming trip. Thank you as always for watching. I really appreciate all the comments I've seen thus far. And you know, sometimes people are negative and that's okay. I know that people judge EDC and it's a very like gate-kept community. So if you're not into my EDC or my ideas of EDC, that's okay. I'm open to suggestions for different gears or ways I can change it. Just try to be kind. I ask that you're not super rude in the comments because sometimes people can be a little bit mean. And I know it's the internet, but like, you know, we're having a discussion here. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. I'm telling you that this is how I use my EDC. So if you have any suggestions for backpacks or other gear that I should review, if you like these videos, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will definitely see you in the next video. Take care.